So, uh, this is another entry. So, right now, realistically, I'll say this. I've struggled with lust. I've struggled with whether I'm gonna make it out of this. And I know I create a lot of videos on you gotta believe in yourself, but it is this. It is not knowing and trying to figure it out. It is staying up all night and going back and forth with what's gonna happen. I did like a Facebook ad. I fixed it like 5 different times, and I had to go back and iterate it over and over and to figure out if did this stat really matter? Was this something that I'm putting in that is extra, that is, and just this idea that was just constantly going through my mind. And I was reading the Bible. It's Psalms 48, verse 9. Within your temple, O God, we meditate in your unfailing love. And I was writing down, that verse spoke so much to me because I've been so focused on getting rich, paying my next bill, making sure I have enough money to run ads, hoping that I got a sale, all these different factors, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like, what if this shit don't work? And this verse, within your temple, O God, we meditate on your unfailing love. And I think that's the switch. That's the switch that I needed to hear. I needed to switch from, of course I'm gonna have those things, right? It's there. And I always believed that. I always believed that when I was a kid. I was meant to do something big. My brothers, I always believed that. I always knew that about myself. And I just feel like I'm only barely scratching the surface. But as I'm getting closer, it's like meditating on his unfailing love is just so impactful. Trusting him, trusting God to see me through, and just knowing that he cares so much for me, and knowing that, what I'm going through isn't in vain, and knowing that every single step, there's a reason that I'm going through it, and that he loves me, and he cares for me. It sounds so selfish because even me when I make these videos, it's they're so self-proclaiming. So self-proclaiming that I know that I'm loved, bro. And it's weird because I got this feeling of something that in the back of my head, back of my mind, that I think about, and maybe that was something that was being released or looked at in a different way. Maybe it's nothing, right? We want it so much, bro. Man, there's like talks of like tariffs and all these different things. We don't know tomorrow. We don't know the next hours of our lives. I don't. Within your temple, O God, we meditate on your unfailing love. The love that is caring, forthcoming, understanding, that is wise, that is beautiful. You know, I used to think to myself, like, a lot of times, like, you know, like that other thing, like when you get money just promotes who you are deep down. And I think about it too. I'm like, man, you know, those times when I was going through a lot of stuff when I was young, those battles that I fought mentally, fuck, you know, in school, and fighting for me, fighting for the person that I knew I was capable of becoming. And that's his love, right? His unfailing love was right there the entire time. This is why I'm not saying a lot of these things, because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be this person that's gonna be on top of the game. I'm gonna be the best. Yes, I want that. I want to be known as one of the greats, right? I want to have that. I want to secure that. And part of it is understanding that God has been part of this journey the entire time. Even when the times where I feel like I'm dealing with lust, even the times I feel like I'm dealing with doubt, anxiety, pressure, all those things are just finite things that are just building the diamond that is me. And once again, it's self-proclaiming, right? But his unfailing love is us recognizing that we were the sheep that got away, right? We are so precious to God that he knows that you are staying up for 7 hours a day through the night trying to learn something, or you're battling something, or a new problem arises. And I don't know, like, you know, I look at so many different people and I don't know, like, what was it? You know, what was the trigger that just made it click? And I feel like there's a lot of triggers in my life that allowed me to be like, I got it. But I know when I have it, man. I know. And I say this a lot, and I'm just thinking, like, I look at this board, I have pictures right here. I have the cars I want, the home I want to live in, the companies I want to work with, the people I want to give to, the sales that I want to hit, the zero debt that I don't want that I want to have, the shows, the collections, the warehouse, the private jets, but most importantly, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, right in the center. I'm really praying that everything that I'm doing right now really has an effect. I want people to understand that I am constantly working on myself. I don't want to just be the brand, right? I don't want to just be that. And I think that's a conversation about that is even deeper about what it means to be a man. These conversations are critical because, like, I'm 25. I look at other 25-year-olds and they may be racing F1 cars or in the NFL or in the NBA. And I pray that that God allows me to win. And it's crazy because I'm up today, so I gotta win. I'm already winning because I'm up. You're already winning because you're here. You're already here, Father God. I'm already here. But when it happens, at least I have these videos to look back on and be like, wow. This is a God that was, trying to live in the present and working and focusing on the present. I don't really have a lot of things that are on my list for life, man. But God has a gift. I have a gift. I have a gift, bro. I have a gift by being the person that I know I'm capable of being.